RTO here. Welcome to Friday, and welcome to the live album ranking. And today we're going to look at the live albums of the mighty Motörhead. Before we start, okay, I know every time I do a live album ranking we get people whinging that the band isn't as band without certain members. Yep, we know that, but you know, don't state the obvious, guys. I know there's a lot of you who love Motorhead or love any band that we've done live, and the bands do change. So don't put in the comments, but Motorhead is not Motorhead without our Fast Eddie Clarke and Filthy Animal Taylor. It went on, and I think the Mickey D and Phil Campbell and Lemmy were as good as. So thought I'd get that one off my chest straight away. We don't have to go into the history of Motorhead, we all know it. That classic lineup was the best, without a doubt. And they've released 16 live albums, which I own all of them. It's one of the live collections that I actually own. So we'll get started. So coming in at number 16 is an album that was released in 1989, and it was called A Blitzkrieg on Birmingham 77. Now this was recorded at the Town Hall in Birmingham on the 3rd of June 1977. Apparently this is the first recording from Eddie Clarke's personal archive that got released, and it was that classic lineup of Lemmy, Animal Taylor and Fast Eddie Clarke. Tracks are on here. These are all really very early stuff. We've got Motorhead, Vibrator, Keep Us on the Road, The Watcher, The Iron Horse, Leaving Here, On Parole, I'm Your Witch Doctor, Train Kept to Rolling, City Kids and White Line Fever. Right, the recording quality is pretty poor. It sounds like it's done one of them. Remember, we had them as kids, them little square ones with the microphone. Just turn the thing and record it. But it's nostalgic, and it's a piece of Motorhead history. So I'm gonna. The songs are great, even though the quality is not, and the playing's really good as well. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10, purely because it's Motorhead. Okay, coming in at number 15, we have one of these, another BBC releases. This one's called BBC Live and In Session, released in 2005, and it's a CD that contains appearances on BBC Radio 1 programmes from 1978 to 86, and a concert recorded in the Paris Theatre in London in 1979. So on here we have got Lemmy, Fast Eddie Clarke, Phil Filthy Animal Taylor, Phil Campbell appears on here, Wörld appears on here, and Pete Gill. So these are the players on here. So the first track was recorded in 1977 at Radio 1, and it's Keep Us on the Road. Pretty good track. Then we have in 1978 the only one of the best versions of Louie Louie, the cover they did. I'll Be Your Sister from Overkill. That's a pretty good track. That was in 79. Tear You Down, also from Overkill, 79. And then we've got the In Concert from the Paris Theatre, and it's got Stay Clean, No Class, White Line Fever, I'll Be Your Sister, Too Late, Too Late. Great version there. I Won't Pay Your Price, Capricorn, Limb from Limb. And then we got some stuff from, remember, David Kid Jensen. They did a session on with him, and they did Fast and Loose. This is 1980. These are all from the couple of tracks from the Ace of Spades tracks. Fast and Loose, Live to Win, White Line Fever from Motorhead, Like a Nightmare, No Class, EP, Bite the Bullet. And then we've got stuff aired on the Friday Rock Show. Oh, I remember this. 1986. Killed by Death, Orgasmatron, great track. Dr. Rock, Death Forever, and then Orgasmatron, spoken by Lemmy. It's not a bad little package. Some of the live stuff's pretty cool. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5.5. Okay, coming in at number 14. We got an album called Lock Up Your Daughters. This was recorded in 1978 in St Albans in England, and it was released in 1990. On here we've got, it's the early stuff again. We've got Motorhead, I'll Be Your Sister, Living Here, Lost Johnny, The Watcher, Keep Us on the Road. They were doing that in 1978, long before it came on the album. Louis Louis pretty good on here. Tear You Down, Iron Horse, White Fever, Instro. Now, again, the quality is not particularly brilliant. It's a little bit better than Blitzkrieg. But again, it's got some classic tracks on there, and these are just really nice archive albums of Motorhead live in the early years. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 5.6. Okay, coming in at number 13. Again, this was recorded in 1978, but wasn't released until 1983, and it's called What's Words Worth. It's a collection of songs played in the mid to late 70s, which never gets done now, and they haven't been in their set since the mid 80s. So there's some gems on here again. We got The Watcher, Iron Horse, On Parole, White Line Fever, Keep Us on the Road, Leaving Here, I'm Your Witch Doctor, Train Kept a Rolling, City Kids. Out of them early recordings, this is probably the best recording. I think it's been properly mixed, and it is a little gem of an album. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 12. Of an album released on 23rd of December 1980. It was recorded, on the 23rd of December 1987, live at Brixton 87. It wasn't released till 1994. It was released though by Roadrunner Records under license, but without permission from the band, and it was not entered into there as an official album. But Lemmy did eventually, when it went on to a Sanctuary reissue in 2005, and I'm glad it is, because it's got a different lineup. This has got Lemmy, Phil Campbell, Wurzel and Phil Taylor. Opens up with the brilliant Dr. Rock, Stay Clean's on here, Traitor, Metropolis, Dogs, Ace of Spades even, Stone Deaf in the USA, Eat the Rich, which is a brilliant version of that. Built for Speed, great track. Rock and Roll, another brilliant track. Death Forever, great. And Just Because You've Got the Power, great set, great songs on that from these albums after Fast Eddie had left. Nice track, especially Dogs, that sounds really good on here, and Eat the Rich is brilliant. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 11, we've got an album that was released in 2021, and it's The Lost Types Volume 2, which was recorded at the University of East Anglia in 1998. On here we've got that second steady lineup of Lemmy, Mickey D and Phil Campbell. Opens up with Bomber, great track of course, No Class, I'm So Bad, Baby I Don't Care, Over Your Shoulder, Civil War's on here, which is brilliant. Take the Blame, The Chase Is Better Than the Catch, great track that is. Nothing Up My Sleeve, Born to Raise Hell is a blinder on here. Great version of Shine, Love for Sale, Dead Men Tell No Tales, Overnight Sensation, the best version I've heard of that, better than the studio version. Sacrifice, Too Late to Late, a blinding Orgasmatron, Stone Dead Forever, Going to Brazil, Killed by Death, Iron Fist, Ace of Spades, and Overkill. Really good concert. Some of the recordings are I think the production isn't particularly brilliant, but it sounds good. I think the vocals are a little bit, sometimes you can hardly understand Lemmy singing. He's hard enough to understand as it is, but they didn't quite get it right on this. But it's still a great album. The playing by Phil Campbell is brilliant, and he plays the Fast Eddie Clarke stuff brilliantly. I think he's you can't really tell. Mickey D's on fire, a great lineup. I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.7. Okay, coming in at number 10. This is another album from last year, 2021. This is the Lost Tapes Volume 1, and it was recorded in Madrid on the 1st of June 1995. The set for this one was the Ace of Spades, Sex and Death, Over Your Shoulder, Baby I'm Bad, Baby I Don't Care, Metropolis, On Your Feet or On Your Knees, Liar Stay Clean, Burner, Orgasmatron, Dogface Boy, Born to Raise Hell, Nothing Up My Sleeve, Lost in the Ozone, a Mickey drum solo, the One to Sing the Blues, the Lemmy bass solo, You Better Run and Sacrifice, Going to Brazil, Killed by Death, and a fantastic version of Silver Machine. Absolutely belting to hear that. And Iron Fist and Overkill. Out of the Lost Tapes CDs, this is the better one. The production's a lot better, and that's why it's above Volume 2. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.8. Okay, then, coming in at number 9, we have an album released in 2003. It was recorded at the Brixton Academy in London in October 2000, and it's 25 and Alive, live at Brixton Academy, celebrating the 25th anniversary. We've got Lemmy, Phil Campbell and Mikey D. There are some guest players on this, which I'll go through as we go through the track list. Opens up with We Are Motorhead. Absolutely belting track that is. I love that. No Class. And we get Baby I'm So Bad I Don't Care, another good track. Over Your Shoulder, great version of that. Civil War, great track that is. Metropolis, another great track. Where are we? There we go. Metropolis, yeah. Overnight Sensations, pretty good. Then they have their version of God Save the Queen, the Sex Pistols song, pretty good version. Then we have Born to Raise Hell. Now this features Dora Pesh. Remember her from Warlock? She's on this. And also Whitfield Crane, who was ex-Ugly Kid Joe. And it's a great version of that song. Then we have The Chase Is Better Than the Catch, and this features Fast Eddie Clarke. He come out on stage and performed with them. Absolutely brilliant. Great to hear Eddie on this. Stay Out of Jail, great version. Dead Men Tell No Tales, pretty good. You Better Run's on here, that's good. Sacrifice, a brilliant version of Orgasmatron. We got Going to Brazil, Broken, Damage Case, Iron Fist, Killed by Death. Now this features Paul Linder, who's Lemmy's son, and Todd Campbell, who's Phil's son. Absolutely stonking version of it. Then we have Bomber, great version, Ace of Spades, and they end up with Overkill, and this features Eddie Clarke, Brian May. You know, it's great. And Martin Ace Kent, who was in Skunk Angus. Great version. This is a great album, full of great guests, of course, and I'll give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 8, an album that was released in 2007. It was recorded at the Hammersmith on June the 16th, 2005. It's Better Motorhead, Better Dead, live at the Hammersmith. It's the 30th anniversary show, and on here we've got Lemmy, Phil Campbell and Mickey D. Opens up with the brilliant Dr. Rock, Stay Clean, Shoot in the Back, Love Me Like a Reptile, great to hear that live, great version. Killers, absolutely belter version. Metropolis, another great track, of course, solid part of the set. Love for Sale's pretty good. Over the Top, great version of that, don't do that one very often. No Class, another great track. I Got Mine, track from the Another Perfect Day album, great. In the Name of Tragedy, Dancing on Your Grave, what a great version of that is. Then we got Ramones, pretty cool. Sacrifices on here, Just Because I've Got the Power, excellent. We Are the Road Crew, great to hear that back in the set. Going to Brazil, Killed by Death, pretty cool. Iron Fist. Then they do that Whorehouse Blues, which is a great little track off Inferno. Bomber, Ace of Spades and Overkill. Again, a brilliant album. Great set. I like how they mix it up. Put a few of them classics in that they haven't played for a little while. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.2. Okay, coming in number 7. Recorded in Germany, Hamburg, 21st of May 1998, sorry. Everything Louder Than Everyone Else. Great little album this is, released in 1999. Opens up with Iron Fist. Stay Clean's on here. On Your Feet or Your Knees, Over Your Shoulders, Civil War, another great version of that. Burner, The Steady, Metropolis, Nothing Up My Sleeve, So Bad Baby I Don't Care, The Chase Is Better Than the Catch, Take the Blame, No Class, Overnight Sensation, Sacrifice, a brilliant version of Born to Raise Hell. Lost in the Ozone from the Bastards album, that's a great track. The One to Sing the Blues is on here. Capricorn, Love for Sale, stonking version of Orgasmatron again. Going to Brazil, Killed by Death, Bomber, Ace of Spades and Overkill. Again, solid. It's just a great album. Great production. Sounds great. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.3. Okay, coming in number 6. We've got The World Is Ours, Volume 1. Everywhere Further Than Every Place Else. What a title. Recorded in 2011 in Santiago, Chile, and then there's some stuff done in New York and Manchester Apollo. So the following tracks are done in Santiago: Iron Fist, Stay Clean, Get Back in Line, Metropolis, Over the Top, One Night Stand, Rock Out, 1,000 Names of God, pretty good version of that. I've Got Mine, love that track. I Don't Know How to Die, The Chase Is Better Than the Catch, In the Name of Tragedy, Just Because I've Got the Power. Going to Brazil, Killed by Death, Ace of Spades, Overkill. Then we got some tracks they recorded in New York in 2011 as well. We got Rock Out, The 1,000 Names of God, Killed by Death. Then we go to 2010 at the Manchester Apollo. We've got We Are Motorhead, Stay Clean, Be My Baby, Get Back in Line, I Don't Know How to Die, and Born to Raise Hell. Okay, it's not a bad album. Bit disjointed, but there's some really good versions of these songs on here. You can tell they've been recorded though in different places because the sound's just a little bit different. But it's still a great album, and I'm going to give it a RTO ranking of 8.4. Okay, coming in at number 5. This is an album released in 2016, 6 months after the sad death of Lemmy. Clean Your Clock. This was recorded during their European 40th anniversary tour, and it was compiled from 2 shows in Munich, Germany on the 20th and 21st of November 2015. Opens up with Bomber, Stay Clean, Metropolis. What 3 tracks to open the show with, brilliant. Then we have a track off Bad Magic, When the Sky Comes Looking For You. Great song. Over the Top, Corker. Guitar solo from Phil Campbell, pretty good. The Chase is Better Than the Catch. Lost Woman Blues, brilliant track, great live. Rocket, another great track. Orgasmatron, Dr. Rock, Just Because You've Got the Power, No Class, Ace of Spain, Whorehouse Blues and Overkill. Again, it's when they do these anniversary tours, you have to get these albums because they put songs in that don't appear on other albums. It's brilliant. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, coming in at number 4 then. Released in 1988. It was recorded at the Giants of Rock Festival in Finland, and it's No Sleep at All. On here we've got Lemmy, Phil Campbell, Wurzel and Phil Allen Taylor. Opens up with Dr. Rock. Always seem to open with Dr. Rock these days, well they did up until the end. Traitor, Dogs, Ace of Spades, Eat the Rich, Built for Speed, great version of that. Death Forever's brilliant on here. Just Because You've Got the Power. Killed by Death, this is the best live version of Killed by Death. Absolutely stonking. Overkill, Stay Clean and Metropolis. Okay, it's a very short album, and for an outdoor concert it's very good. The sound is fantastic. It's the best live album of this lineup of Motorhead. I mean, it's great just for the Killed by Death off this album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Coming in at number 3, it's an album that came out last year and it got an honourable mention in my albums of the year. Louder Than Noise live in Berlin. It was recorded on the December the 5th in 2012. It's of course Lemmy, Mickey and Phil, and on here we've got I Know How to Die, Damage Case, Stay Clean, Metropolis, Over the Top, Dr. Rock, String Theory, great track that is. The Chase is Better Than the Catch, Rocket, You Better Run, The One to Sing the Blues, Going to Brazil, Killed by Death, Ace of Spades and Overkill. Great little album. Sounds great. Really strong production on that. It's one thing the Germans are good at, production on live albums. I don't know what they do, how they do it. All the concerts that are ever recorded in Germany always sound pretty good. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.4. I need a drink. Excuse me, folks. Okay, coming in number 2, we've got The World Is Ours, Volume 2. Any Place Crazy as Anywhere Else. It's part 2 of that World Is Ours set. This was released in 2012 and it features the entire Wacken era show with parts of Sonisphere from England and Rock in Rio. All the concerts were from 2011. So the first part obviously is the Wacken Festival. Iron Fist, Stay Clean, Get Back in Line, Metropolis, Over the Top, One Night Stand, Rock Out, 1,000 Names of God, How Do I Die, The Chase is Better Than the Catch, In the Name of Tragedy, just because you've got the power, Going to Brazil, Killed by Death, Bomber, Ace of Spades and Overkill. Again, the production on that part of the album is brilliant. I keep saying this, anything you get from Wacken sounds brilliant. Watch the DVD to that and it's absolutely belting. Then the next few tracks come from Sonisphere that was held at Nebworth Festival in 2011. We've got Iron Fist, I Know How to Die, In the Name of Tragedy, Killed by Death, Ace of Spades and Overkill. The production on this is a little bit different because the way the Nebworth Park is shaped, it sort of goes in a dip like that, and I think sometimes it loses the sound. I've got quite a little bit recorded from Nebworth, and I mean they're great tracks, but sometimes the sound is a little bit off, but it's still great little tracks. And the last few tracks come from when they did Rock in Rio that year, and we've got Stay Clean, Over the Top, Chase is Better Than the Catch, Going to Brazil, Killed by Death. Sounds pretty good on there. This is this high purely on the Wacken set. Best live recording of Mickey, Lemmy and Phil. That's why it's at number 2, because it's just the best. The others are okay, but I tend to, if I put this album, I just tend to seem to listen to the Wacken bit. It's absolutely brilliant. The production's great. It feels like they're playing in your front room. That's how good it sounds. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Okay, number 1. Well, it's going to be, isn't it? It's obvious. If I hadn't got this at number 1, I think I'd have been crucified. But it is at number 1 for a reason. Released on the 22nd of June 1981. No Sleep Till Hammersmith. Recorded in 1981, when I think Motorhead were at their prime. Now, I got the single album, but now I own the extended CD thing, and it's absolutely brilliant. On here we get Ace of Spades, Stay Clean, Metropolis, The Hammer, Iron Horse, Born to Lose, No Class, Overkill, We Are the Road Crew, Capricorn, Bomber, Motorhead, stonking version, the best ever version of Motorhead, without a doubt. I mean, I've got the single of it. That's how good it is. Over the Top, Shoot You in the Back, that is a great version, great track. Jailbait, Leaving Here, White Line Fever, Fire, belter. Too Late, Bite the Bullet. Then you get stuff that was recorded on the same tour. I think something done in Manchester. We've got Ace of Spades, Stay Clean, Metropolis, The Hammer, Capricorn, Low Class, We Are the Road Crew, Bite the Bullet, The Chase is Better Than the Catch, Overkill, Bomber and Motorhead. Belter, absolute belter. One of the best live albums ever. That show at Hammersmith, well, that was recorded in 1981, absolute killer concert. I was a little bit young for that. I think I was actually in hospital at the time that concert was going on, so I wouldn't have been able to go anyway. I was only 12, 13, but it's got so much fun memories. I mean, the other album, the other disc as well is great. Although, okay, it's repeat, but the sound, they've cleaned it up now and it just sounds brilliant. So I've got to give this an RTO ranking of 10 out of 10 today, because it is a great live album, one of my favourite live albums. While we're on the subject of Motorhead live, when they redone some of the albums, like The Perfect Day and Ace of Spades, they put on a concert. They're pretty good as well, but I don't think this production on them are as good as these. Okay, well, that's Motorhead live. We've probably covered everything you can with Motorhead now. Great band. Okay, well, we've got one more show for the week, and it's part one of the Iain Gillan story. We're going to look up what he did with episode 6. So join me for that very shortly. Take care for now.